Today, we're diving into something really powerful. We're decoding an ancient blueprint for leadership, a framework that lets you thrive in any environment, no matter how hostile it gets. We're talking about the Daniel Code.
So let's just start with this puzzle. How does a captive, an exile in a foreign land, not only survive, but end up advising 4 different kings and basically conquering the most powerful empires of his day? I mean, it sounds impossible, right? But here's the thing. His secret wasn't luck. It was a code.
So here's our game plan. We're gonna start with his unbelievable story, and then we're gonna unlock the 4 keys that made it all happen. The moral code, the excellence code, the influence code, and the power code. And then we'll see how you can put them to work in your life today.
All right, first up, let's really set the stage. Because this isn't just some old story. No, this is a masterclass in leadership under the most extreme pressure you can possibly imagine.
Just try to put yourself in his shoes for a second. He's a teenager, he's been captured, ripped from his home, and dragged to Babylon, the center of a culture that's hostile to everything he believes in. The pressure to just conform, to give up, to disappear into the crowd, it would have been immense. By all logic, he should have been a footnote in a history book, but he wasn't. So how did he do it? How did he pull it off? Well, it all started with the very first key to his success. It began with a single private decision that laid the foundation for everything that came after. This is the moral code. Notice that key word right there, resolved. Before he ever faced a public test, before anyone in power even knew his name, he made up his mind. He drew a line in the sand for himself. This wasn't him reacting to pressure. This was a preemptive decision about who he was going to be.
And this is the principle of preemptive resolution. See, the crucial thing to get here is that integrity isn't something you figure out in the middle of a crisis. It's a standard you set long beforehand. It's deciding what you will and will not do way before that choice is ever put in front of you.
So what does this mean for us today? It means you have to identify your king's food. What are the non-negotiable lines for you in your career? What are the ethical shortcuts you simply won't take? The family values you won't trade for promotion. That's your foundation. Okay, so having strong morals is one thing, but how did he become so incredibly valuable to the empire? That brings us to the second key, the excellence code. And this wasn't about just being good, it was about being superior. The text gives us this absolutely incredible statistic. After the king tested Daniel and his friends, he found them not just a little better, not just twice as good, but 10 times better than every single magician and enchanter in his entire kingdom. 10 times! Just let that sink in. That number is not an accident. It means a level of skill and insight that is in a completely different category from everybody else. And it begs the question, how is that even possible?
Well, the code reveals the answer is a partnership, divine enablement meeting human diligence. Look, Daniel and his friends did the work. They threw themselves into mastering the language, the literature, the laws of Babylon. But that intense human effort was then amplified by what the text calls an excellent spirit. It's that fusion of your absolute best work with divine favor that creates those 10x results.
So he's got integrity and he's got incredible skill. But how did he navigate a godless system without compromising his faith or alienating everyone around him? This is where the third key comes in, the influence code.
Now, this is what's so fascinating. It's all about balance. On one side, you have his private life. His spiritual discipline was completely non-negotiable. 3 times a day, like clockwork, he prayed, even when a new law made it punishable by death. But on the other side, you have his public life, which was marked by prudence and discretion. He wasn't a loudmouthed zealot. He was wise. He was strategic.
The application here is like a strategy of dual citizenship. You're in the world, but not of it. This means your private spiritual disciplines are the non-negotiable engine that drives your life. But your interactions with colleagues, with clients, even with family, they have to be handled with wisdom, respect, and tact. One without the other is totally ineffective.
This brings us to the final and, frankly, the most powerful key. Integrity, excellence, and influence are potent. But Daniel had something else, an ace up his sleeve that no one else could possibly access. This is the power code. So when the most powerful man in the world, King Nebuchadnezzar, has a terrifying dream that none of his experts can figure out, Daniel steps up. But pay close attention to his words here. He doesn't say, "Don't worry, I can figure it out." No. The very first thing he does is deflect. He points to a higher source.
And this slide just perfectly illustrates the contrast. On one side, you have the world's best and brightest, the wise men, the magicians. They represent the absolute peak of human wisdom, and they failed completely. On the other side, you have Daniel, who had a direct line to divine revelation. He wasn't smarter, he was just better connected.
This brings us to a really powerful application, humility. For the biggest decisions in your business, your career, or your family, the Coda teaches us to first acknowledge that our own wisdom has limits. The ultimate leadership advantage is seeking insight and clarity from a source beyond yourself.
So we've now unlocked all 4 keys. Let's put them all together and see how they form a complete, actionable system for leadership right now, today. So here it is, the full code. It starts with the moral code, your non-negotiable integrity. That becomes the foundation for the excellence code, where you deliver superior skill. Then you navigate the world with the influence code, balancing discipline and diplomacy. And you make your most critical decisions with the power code, seeking divine insight. See how each one builds on the last?
And this is really the final takeaway. This is not just an ancient story. It is a timeless blueprint. The challenges of pressure, compromise, and complexity in our world today are really no different from what Daniel faced in Babylon. The same principles that worked then will work now, in your business, your community, and in your home.
You know, the book of Daniel ends with this incredible promise. It suggests that a life lived by this code doesn't just lead to success, it leads to a legacy that shines. It's a powerful vision for what's possible when you choose to live by the code. The only question left is, will you?